I put the work in. I stayed disciplined throughout my camp. I was in tremendous shape. And T.O., he's a hell of a fighter, but
I can say a lot of things, still gonna be the wrong thing. Great guy, great fighter. We came out here, we went, we took everything, we put everything on the...
In a shocking revelation that's shaking the boxing world, Teofimo Lopez Jr. himself claims, "I was paid to lose," exposing a side of the sport most fans never see. This bombshell statement not only questions the integrity of big fights, but also paints a brutal picture of what fighters endure behind the scenes while promoters and networks profit. Truly eye-opening and unsettling.
How do we do it? All these fighters are getting used. Everybody, like a Mandingo fight, like the Django and shit. This is a Mandingo fight that we do. We bust our ass, we get taking blood, we taking cuts, we taking everything. And what we get crumbs while these fucking people are sitting back, eating popcorn like, yeah, keep going, I'm making so much money.
Teofimo Lopez Jr.'s statement comes off emotional, yet a bit suspicious as he tries to justify himself after claiming, "I was paid to lose." Watching his performance, it's clear he wasn't at his best in the ring, struggling and underperforming, which makes his shocking confession feel plausible to some. Fans are left questioning if it's truth, or an excuse to cover up a poor display in such a high-stakes fight.
Salute to the power that it be above. I thank you guys. I never wanted anything to harm you guys at all. So for that, my condolences to all you guys and to the slavery and everything that's ever happened.
Teofimo Lopez Sr. is making it clear that his son, Teofimo Lopez Jr., was completely healthy and at his peak, implying that the only reason he lost to Shakur Stevenson was not skill but something else, possibly money. This subtle jab suggests the shocking "I was paid to lose" claim might hold weight, while also highlighting that Shakur Stevenson truly dominated someone who was at their best.
That guy was a tough guy, really tough, and he put up a show. Like I said it before, there ain't nobody can beat my son when he's healthy. He was healthy tonight.
Oscar de la Hoya's reaction makes it clear that Teofimo Lopez Jr.'s claims are not just wild talk, but could have real consequences. The involvement of the FBI adds a shocking and serious dimension to the situation. Fans are left questioning whether Teofimo Lopez Jr.'s lackluster performance against Shakur Stevenson was just poor form or if there is truth behind these explosive allegations. This whole scenario is tense and unpredictable, keeping everyone on edge.
Now you have the FBI crawling up your ass? Good fucking luck. I mean, look, is there any young boxer who is crazy enough to fuck their careers by signing with your shit league?
Teofimo Lopez Jr.'s comments are raising serious eyebrows. He openly talks about easy money and an easy game, which links back to his shocking claim that he was paid to lose. Everything he says now seems connected: his underperformance in the ring, his father's insistence that he was fully healthy, and this blatant focus on cash make it all feel suspicious, like the fight was manipulated.
To be honest though, I don't mind fighting him. That'll be easy money for me, and on top of that, it'll be easy game. Okay. He's chinny. It's just he hasn't. Top Rank knows how to build fighters. I'm sure. Look, I know that from my own point of view.
Oscar de la Hoya pulls no punches as he exposes the dark side of the fight setup. The claims of a $400 million lawsuit and a federal investigation make Teofimo Lopez Jr.'s shocking admission of being paid to lose even more plausible. While Shakur Stevenson dominated with pure skill and precision, the Lopez camp seems tangled in controversy, money, and manipulation, making the outcome feel tainted despite the flawless display in the ring.
We'll fight anybody in December. That's our night. We always win by big knockouts of the Heisman Award night. So, let it be. But we want Josh Taylor.
What were you happiest about what you saw in Junior this night, right here in this ring?
What was it?
Teofimo Lopez Sr.'s words hint at the chaos behind the scenes. He seems to be defending his son while also brushing over questionable actions, possibly alluding to the shady circumstances of the fight. Linking this to Teofimo Lopez Jr. claiming he was paid to lose, it paints a picture of a camp caught between pride and profit. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson's flawless performance in the ring exposes every weakness, making the Lopez camp's excuses feel hollow and suspicious.
What about doing bad things, you know what I'm saying? And all we do is represent, against all odds.
Shakur Stevenson's performance was clinical. Every jab and body shot underlined his superior skill, timing, and ring IQ. Yet, hearing Teofimo Lopez Jr. claim he was paid to lose makes this dominant display feel even more suspicious. It's hard to ignore that Teofimo wasn't at his best physically, and the way Shakur dismantled him almost too easily adds a layer of doubt over what actually went down in that fight.
Yeah, I definitely did. I feel like he's a fighter, so he tried to fight back. But yeah, I picked him apart. In the second round, I want to say that I told my corner, I said, I'm stronger than he is.
Did you feel like you hurt him at any point in the fight?
Yeah, for sure. I hurt him a couple of times. My jab, my left hand to the body, my left hand up top. I put on a great show tonight.
Terrence Crawford perfectly explains why Shakur Stevenson is a nightmare for any opponent. The dominance in the ring is real, yet when you hear Teofimo Lopez Jr. claim he was paid to lose, it casts a shadow over his performance. Did money and politics quietly influence the outcome? Crawford's points about skill and timing make Shakur's win believable, but Teofimo's lack of aggression and uncharacteristic mistakes only fuel the suspicion that something shady was going on behind the scenes. Fans are left questioning whether it was all just the sport's harsh reality or something more sinister.
There's a reason why certain fighters didn't want to take the chance to step in the ring with this fighter. He's great. A lot of people started saying, oh, he's a runner, he's this, he's that, just to detour people from being excited to see him fight because he's not knocking people out and all that crazy stuff. But
Conor Benn's reaction highlights how intimidating Shakur Stevenson is in the ring. Every move he makes shows confidence and precision. Still, with Teofimo Lopez Jr. claiming he was paid to lose, even this credible performance leaves a whiff of suspicion. Shakur's domination seems too clean, and Conor's underscores just how obvious the skill gap was. Was it purely Shakur's brilliance, or did Teofimo hold back for reasons beyond the ring? The whole scene makes fans question whether the narrative of a fair fight was real, or if the business side quietly steered the outcome, leaving Shakur to shine flawlessly.
Conor, well, what was that about right there? What was Shakur saying to you in there?
If he wants it, he can get it next.
Right.
Ultimately, I ain't scared or worried about him.
Well, what did you think? What did you think of his performance?
Yeah, no, it was a great performance. He performed really well.
Claressa Shields perfectly captures the dominance of Shakur Stevenson. 11 rounds to 1 is a statement, yet knowing Teofimo Lopez Jr.'s claims of being paid to lose adds a layer of intrigue. Shakur's flawless execution makes it impossible to deny his brilliance, but the complete lack of resistance from Teofimo makes the fight feel unusually scripted. Was Teofimo truly unprepared, or did external factors manipulate the flow? Shields sees only the pure talent, yet fans can't help but feel the performance and the narrative are entwined with something suspicious, making the fight memorable yet controversial at the same time.
Shakur won emphatically, 119 I think to 109 with the scorecard, so basically like 11 rounds to 1. What did you think about the outcome and the fact that he was able to win so dominantly?
One, shout out to New York. The Shoo Bruce Carrington, he's world champion now. I'm so proud of him.
Facts.
Been watching him fight the undercards and all this stuff forever, and to see him for world champion tonight, I was bawling, I was crying, yo. So shout out to him. He shine every time he come out to see his story, see how much he done overcame everything. Now he get a 12th round knockout, looking good against Jermaine Ortiz. Wonderful.
Bruce Carrington's take underlines how effortlessly Shakur Stevenson controlled Teofimo Lopez Jr. throughout the fight. Every counter, every defensive move looked polished and precise, almost too easy for a world-class matchup. When combined with Teofimo's later claims of being paid to lose, it raises eyebrows over the legitimacy of his resistance. Was Shakur just that good, or did Teofimo's lack of fire and sudden errors hint at a deeper story? This fight now lives in two realities: Shakur's undeniable skill and the shadow of suspicion over why his opponent appeared so passive in what should have been a competitive bout.
Shakur looked phenomenal, dominant performance. Just what do you think about that?
Man, he made it easy. I was saying, like, if Teo was to fight more on a back foot and throw punches when Shakur throws, that's the only time you're going to get Shakur. But Teo, he has a habit of getting out of position all the time. He'll double up his right hand, turn square, or turn southpaw. Like, that's not going to work, bro. You're not going to take up enough space to touch Shakur. And Shakur's reflexes and his countering was just keeping Teo at bay. It was an easy night from round 1 for him. Shakur got the...
Daniel Jacobs admits the gap in skill between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez Jr., calling it a clinic and praising Shakur's jab and ring IQ. Yet knowing Teofimo's own claims of being paid to lose introduces an unsettling dimension. The lack of grit or fight from Teofimo might just be talent difference, but the suspicious context makes it feel like more than that. Fans are left wondering if Shakur's domination was purely his skill or if Teofimo's compromised effort amplified the score. The fight becomes not just a showcase, but a controversial spectacle where performance and possible manipulation intersect.
Teofimo is my guy, but I've always been a fan of Shakur. And I think that Shakur put on a clinic tonight. Least amount of risk. Been able to put his skill set into fruition all night. The jab was leading. You could tell the difference in skill set, and that was the difference to me that made the fight. It wasn't about grit, it wasn't about heart, it was about sheer.
Daniel Jacobs' insight reminds everyone that fighting is about courage and execution. Shakur Stevenson displayed both flawlessly, but the surrounding controversy with Teofimo Lopez Jr. claiming he was paid to lose casts doubt. Was Teofimo's lack of aggression merely a reflection of Shakur's skill or something orchestrated behind the scenes? Jacobs notes it wasn't a landslide but talent difference, yet the suspicious circumstances make the dominant performance feel almost too perfect. Fans are left celebrating Shakur's brilliance while questioning if Teofimo's resistance was genuine, adding intrigue and drama to an already sensational matchup.
Yo, sometimes you just gotta grab your nuts and you just gotta put balls to the wall, unfortunately. But that's just what it is. And sometimes when you think you can keep up with a boxer that's superior to you, you want to try to go with the motion rather than going with what can potentially get you. Because boxing is, you can be losing every round and then the last round you get a lucky or a really confident shot that can knock somebody out. But he didn't try to me. Love the kid, talented kid. I mean, he kept his, kept his grit tonight, but it just wasn't enough. It was like I won't say a landslide, but it was just a difference in talent.
Teofimo Lopez Jr. claims he gave everything in the fight, but the performance tells a different story. Watching him, it's obvious he wasn't at his usual level. Punches lacked snap and intensity, and his defense seemed unusually sloppy. This aligns with his later shock confession that he was paid to lose. It makes you question whether his effort was genuine or influenced by external pressures. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson looked composed, dominant, and precise, taking full advantage of every opening. The contrast between Shakur's flawless execution and Teofimo's hesitant energy fuels suspicion. Fans can't ignore how cleanly Shakur dictated the fight from start to finish, suggesting either incredible skill or perhaps an opponent who wasn't fighting at full capacity. The combination of talent and controversy makes this victory unforgettable yet deeply questionable.
I can say a lot of things, still gonna be the wrong thing. Great guy, great fighter. We came out here, we went, we took everything, we put everything on the line, they ain't have nothing.
Eddie Hearn's words perfectly capture Shakur Stevenson's brilliance, describing a masterclass in timing, footwork, and shot selection. Yet the frustration and visible wear on Teofimo Lopez Jr.'s face only intensify the speculation. Was he truly outmatched, or was his lackluster performance influenced by other motives? When combined with Teofimo's later claims of being paid to lose, the narrative becomes more suspicious. Shakur looked untouchable, dictating the pace and landing clean shots effortlessly. Fans witness a fighter performing at the highest level while simultaneously questioning the legitimacy of the contest. Hearn's praise underscores Shakur's talent, but Teofimo's unusual mistakes and missing aggression make this win feel like a perfect storm of skill and possible manipulation. This is the kind of fight that sparks debate for years.
To be completely one-sided. I mean, he won every round, in my opinion. Like the golfing levels was phenomenal. And I said to Bud, like going into 12, he could do 40 rounds. Shakur. Like never out of control, footwork, timing, shot selection. I actually think he could have stopped Teofimo if he'd have stepped on him. Teofimo looked like frustrated, just obviously he was busted up to the face. He's a phenomenal fighter, 4-division world champion.
Edgar Berlanga's comments highlight Shakur Stevenson's effortless dominance, calling it easy work, and praising his skill and resilience. Yet watching Teofimo Lopez Jr. in the ring, there were moments of hesitation and missed opportunities that felt off for a fighter of his caliber. With his shocking admission that he was paid to lose, the fight now has an unsettling dimension. Shakur's precision and control contrast sharply with Teofimo's unusual lethargy, making the entire contest feel suspiciously one-sided. Edgar sees only the talent, but fans can't ignore the surrounding drama. Was this a true test of Shakur's abilities, or did circumstances beyond the ring tip the scales? This narrative keeps everyone talking long after the fight, blending admiration for Shakur with doubt over Teofimo's intentions.
Easy work. My brother Shakur spanked his ass 12 rounds like I told him he would. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of my brother, man. He did his thing, man. What stood out the most with Shakur right now? Say it again? What stood out the most with Shakur? Huh? What stood out the most with Shakur tonight versus Teofimo? Wait, what you said? What stood out the most? Oh, Shakur. I already knew he was going to box his ass out. Like, he was going to box him out. Easy work, you know what I'm saying? Shakur's a special talent in the sport of boxing, man, and he's been like that since the amateur.
The aftermath of this fight leaves the boxing world stunned and buzzing because Shakur Stevenson didn't just win. He dominated every single round with surgical precision, footwork that was untouchable, and a jab that dictated the pace from start to finish. Watching Teofimo Lopez Jr., it's impossible to ignore how unusually flat and hesitant he looked, missing shots he normally lands, and taking punishment in ways that make fans question if this was really a true contest or something influenced by outside factors. With Teofimo's shocking admission that he was paid to lose, the story becomes even murkier, turning what should have been a straight-up test of skill into a controversial spectacle. Shakur's mental strength and focus were on full display, showing he's not just physically dominant but also strategically smarter than any opponent in that ring, making this victory not only impressive but historically significant. The fight has opened debates over integrity in boxing, while simultaneously cementing Shakur as one of the sport's brightest talents. Are you backing Shakur Stevenson's unstoppable rise? Or do you think Teofimo Lopez Jr.'s shocking confession changes everything? Drop your thoughts below and join the debate right now.
Backstage, bro, I'm just going crazy. Like, oh, he's beating him up. It's easy work. Like, he's beating Teo up. Like, it's not even a close fight. You know what I'm saying? So, I was just happy for him. Super happy for him.
And he called out Conor Benn. You guys both trying to maybe co-main and main event in the UK with all these UK guys?
Hey, man, how big this event was, bro. Like, I ain't tripping.
Keyshawn Davis perfectly sums up the shock factor in the backstage reaction, emphasizing how effortlessly Shakur Stevenson dismantled Teofimo Lopez Jr. But the entire scene feels suspicious when considering Teofimo's claims that he was paid to lose. His unusual lack of resistance and easy beatdown cast doubt over the authenticity of his effort. Shakur's precision, timing, and confidence look unbeatable, but Teofimo's subdued performance fuels whispers that money and influence played a role. Fans are celebrating Shakur's undeniable brilliance, yet there's an unavoidable question mark over how the fight unfolded. The combination of dominance and controversy turns this victory into a historic moment of both admiration and intrigue, keeping the debate alive in the boxing world.